If you want to get out of debt, you have to know where you're starting. And so many of us who have experienced debt or just who are in relationship with finances in general are afraid to look at our numbers. And that's keeping us from moving forward financially, from growing into the life of more than enough and of overflow that we truly desire. So today's tapping session is on the fear of looking at your online bank statement. So before we dive into today's session, I just want to share that this session is leading into my August debt-free summer series. So all throughout August, I'm going to be doing tapping sessions on helping you clear the energy around debt that is no longer serving you so that you can get rid of your debt and start moving in the direction of financial freedom and abundance. This also coincides with the sale of my signature course on getting out of debt, Back in Black, Eliminating Debt for Good and Creating a Mindset for More Than Enough. This course at full price is just $97 and it's on summer sale for just $77. And that's access to the entire course and its lifetime access. So I know what it's like to be in debt. I know what it's like to struggle with your finances. And I easily could have put a $500 plus price tag on this course. But my goal is to help you get out of debt and not create more of it. So this is a robust course that includes videos, PDFs, lucky sheets. Those are resource sheets and worksheets that help you go deeper into the material, tapping session, and so many bonuses. So if you're interested in getting out of debt this summer, check out the link in the description beneath this video. This is going to help you clear the subconscious programming and belief systems that's keeping that debt locked in place. All right, let's dive into today's tapping session on clearing the fear of looking at your online bank statement. You got to get clear on your numbers if you want to get to where you want to go financially. So awareness is always the first step. And I know it can feel scary to find your login information and look at the numbers and add the numbers up. And it's like, oh, brings up a lot of stuff, a lot of feelings, right? Because it's not about the money. It's never about the money. It's always about what's beneath the money, what's behind the money, the stories, the beliefs, the feelings, the events that got you into this debt. So when we're in relationship with those numbers, it's not just you in relationship to the numbers, to the dollars. It's you in relationship to all of the beliefs, stories, feelings, emotions, and events that made that debt manifest in your life in the first place. So let's tap on getting you to a place where you feel willing and comfortable and ready to look at those numbers, to get clear and to step into financial adulthood so that you can start walking the path to financial freedom. All right, take a deep breath, put your feet on the floor, just get grounded in your chair and feel into the fear of getting clear around those numbers, of opening up your online bank statement, and just notice where you feel that in your body. Maybe you want to take a sip of water. Always important to stay hydrated when we're tapping because it helps the energy move. And we're going to start on the karate chop point. Even though there's this fear of looking at my bank statement and getting clear on my numbers, and it's keeping me from knowing where I'm starting. And it's keeping me from walking the path to financial freedom and creating and living into a life of more than enough. And there's a big part of me that doesn't want to let this fear go. Maybe because if I let it go, I am likely going to feel some of those feelings, and I would rather not. And maybe I don't want to let this go because being in debt is what feels familiar. I know the landscape. And if I let this fear go, I'm going to have to start taking some different actions and thinking some different thoughts and potentially being a different person in relationship to my life and or my relationships. And that just feels way too scary. And I really want to get to the bottom of this. And I want to love, honor, and acknowledge all of my parts, especially the ones that would rather stay in the old familiar story than risk changing so they can have the money life they desire. And I want to acknowledge the parts that are afraid that they or their relationships might change and don't want them to. I want to send some extra love to those parts. I want to thank them for showing up today and trying to keep me safe in the only way that they know how. In the way that they have been programmed. Okay, shake out your hands, take a deep breath. This fear of looking at my numbers. I do not want to open my online bank statement. Don't want to see those numbers or what those numbers represent. Too many feelings. Too many emotions. Too much stuff that I'll be confronted with. Maybe there are financial mistakes that I've made that I don't want to be confronted with. I'd rather stay in this old familiar story, in this old familiar place. That's what I know, that's my story, and that's what I'm sticking to. But I really want to change my financial picture. I want abundance and overflow, a life of more than enough. And that's not going to magically happen if I refuse to get clarity on my numbers. Because in order to get from one place to another, I have to know what the first place is. And I have to know what the second place is. So maybe on some level, this fear is serving me and keeping me safe. But it's also keeping me from the life and bank account that I want. I am really sick and tired of being in this financial place. And even though it's a little bit scary to take this next step, I'm willing to give it a try. I'm willing to change my thinking on this. I've been stuck in this old fear story for too long. And I mean, if I don't get clarity, I don't move forward. And I've gotten clarity on things that have scared me in the past. And I've made changes, positive changes. so I can make positive changes in this area too. I have proof. I got the receipts. I am willing to move through this fear because the part of me that's ready to move through this fear, the part of me that is courageous and brave and wise, is stronger than the part of me that's scared and that doesn't know what's next. Letting go of this fear of looking at my numbers and getting clear on where I am. I am ready to change. Tapping into courage. Tapping into willingness. Letting go of any remaining resistance to looking at my online bank statement and getting clear about my numbers. I am a powerful creator. I am ready for change. I am willing to take the first step and get clarity. Tapping into willingness, tapping into courage and bravery. I'm ready to step into financial freedom, and I'm ready to take the first step to get there. Letting go of any remaining fear and tapping into financial confidence and a willingness to take the first step to help me get there in every cell of my body. I got this, and I can do this. Okay, shake out your hands, take a deep breath. I know it can feel scary to get your login information and to actually look at those numbers and to start the process of getting clarity and taking that first step. And I want to commend you for doing this tapping session with me, for having the willingness, for being willing to let go of the resistance and taking that very bold, very courageous first step. You've got this. And remember, this isn't about getting rid of all of your fear. This is about tapping into the willingness to move forward and take action, even with fear, right? Fear gets to ride in the car, does not get to drive. It's got to sit in the back seat, but it gets to be there as we move forward and start to create the financial life of our dreams. Thank you so much for tapping with me. Again, if you are ready to clear that debt at lightning speed, please check out my course, Back in Black, beneath this video. Subscribe to my channel for more so you don't miss the rest of the debt-free summer series. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.